major TAO development and governance overhaul. I have you covered. Big up to Const, of course, the co-founder of TAO. This was a massively attended Discord session with the founder of Bittensor TAO, addressing the current key issues with governance, what the problems were. Of course, I've got the alpha, and big shout out to my guy, which is the guy who posted all of this. So big up yourself. His name is the TAO Outsider. So I just want to give him full credit as to the this key post that he's done on the network proposals. But I've obviously gone on and went into the subject a bit deeper to bring you this this video. Of course, we owe it to ourselves. The dynamic TAOs is the path, of course, but how do we get there? How do we ensure that the governance, of course, and everything goes through smoothly, and we don't have the trust-based system rather than a mechanical, very verifiable staking mechanism that everybody can trust. So hundreds of community members attended on the Covenant AI's exit. And this is what you need to know. Now, of course, in a situation like this, there is always going to be those people that still don't get it. And that's absolutely fine. But what I've done is I've put together some slides to make the community understand. And we owe it to ourselves as investors. No project is below or above criticism, right? We need to be able to understand what we're dealing with here. Of course, I'm very bullish on TAO. Hence why I'm making this content to update the rest of you on exactly what's going on. So first of all, he addressed the elephant in the room. He acknowledged that Sam's betrayal directly. He took responsibility and he apologized for to the affected holders. Now, of course, what they're saying here is moving beyond patches to full governance overhaul. And that is going to be the conviction mechanism, which is quite key. Now, of course, this is not a code. This is an actual history of the project. And right now they are applying the same logic to previous exploits and what's happened and how they can learn from it. In terms of what they're actually building, it is called the locked stake mechanism. Remember that? It's called the lock stake mechanism. What Covenant AI episode showed was that a breakdown in trust in weak governance basically showed or exposed a critical structural vulnerability in the trust-based governance system. And what they want to do, the response has to be zero excuses. So they take responsibility and then they do a fundamental protocol-wide rewrite of network governance. And I think that's quite key for Bittensor TAO holders to understand. Under this proposal, time becomes part of the equation, okay? You will be able to lock and stake for months or even years, and that lock creates a trust score. So locked and stake times remaining lock time equals to the conviction metric. And this is going to be super important. This number is public, and it's cryptographically verifiable. Okay. Anyone with a subnet or any subnet owners or any alpha holders or any TAO holders will be able to prove their long-term commitment on chain with no trust assumptions required. And I think that's going to be quite key. The more trust, trust me, bro, that you get, basically the worse that project is. There's no trust me here. It's just pure math. And that's going to be great for this protocol upgrade. I think the implementation will be key. That will lead to a stronger chain. And the network, of course, the exploit that we've just seen was a stress test for the network. So in terms of what we see from here, the rollout, they will, at the moment they are deliberating, but step one is the lock mechanism itself without governance, activation, test the infrastructure first. Initial testing will happen in a mature subnets like, Subnet 39 or 81, potentially others. with significantly existing activities. New subnets will get a grace period under the proposal, and of course, immunity window while the mechanism matures around them. When governance does activate, anyone will be able to lock and stake and vote on the owner key of a subnet, which is, that's amazing. The highest conviction wins. That's it. No committees, no board votes, no insider decisions, pure conviction, and of course, on-chain transparency. And I think, Bittensor is going to be very brave in terms of adopting this, because that is exactly what we want. We want to have the Bitcoin of AI doing better decentralization and governance overall. The proposal is definitely the right signal for me. It does not solve everything overnight. You have to remember lock stake times remaining lock time equals the conviction metric. That is publicly cryptographically verifiable. So that's going to be quite key. But these are major updates. I'd be buying Bittensor TAO even more so off the back of this. Equal conviction area. I think this is going to be the new way. By the way, smash a like if you hold Bittensor TAO. And it was great to see the entire community rallying behind this one Discord meeting, which was incredible. Like I said, human trust assumptions are going to be kicked out. They should have always done this, in my opinion. And this new blueprint should allow us to see a better on-chain verification, governance, transparency, and all the things that Covenant AI exposed. So what do I think of the price? That's what you want to know. What do I think? Where do I go right now? I have already put out an alert into the community. Right now, the price is $240. And for me, anytime you've seen these, these kind of corrective waves and this level of touch here, we've seen it here, 2024. Again, you can, none of this is financial advice. You got to do what you got to do. But again, I'm working for the bags, and I'm making sure that I tell people to do the right thing. And we've done this once. We've done this again here. We've done this again here. I mean, guys, it becomes so obvious where you need to buy Bittensor TAO. And right now, we're not too far away from this ridiculously good, reliable level of it comes here and it pumps, it comes here, it pumps, it comes here, it pumps. It came here, been telling people to buy here, and it pumped. Now it's coming back down to potentially, look at this on the weekly. It's still, RSI is falling, but the MACD hasn't crossed yet. We need to see a red MACD. Then, of course, as the sell pressure eases, it becomes pink. But what we see in here is just relatively the first light green MACD MACD bar on the histogram there. So it's going to be quite key. But overall, falling RSI, and in my opinion, at $240, $220 to $200 will be the best to start you off with. And then anything below that in the bear market will be a welcome opportunity. So it is, I mean, if you wanted to buy this for $240 today, you maybe buy, I don't know, 10 or 5 or whatever. You wait for 220 to 200, you bid there, and then you do ultimate generational buy entries below $200. That could also be a way to go. But this is a very good start for Bittensor TAO, in my opinion. And, only time will tell. But considering how many people turned up to this, in my opinion, I think this was a very much, an open mic. What people said, what they needed, what was needed to be said, and of course there are criticisms as well. Not every community member is jumping for joy. It's important that we remember all sides of the argument. This guy Mama Tao or girl is saying, I still don't understand how conviction is applied. The language was definitely a big obstacle in today's life, and people are just they have every right. But you were there. Doing your part. So everybody's got their own kind of take on this, but it's good to get all sides of the argument. Guys, follow me on X at DXB Crypto 1-to-1. Put a lot of alpha there. As always, I'll catch you on the next video. But this is a very, very good start. and the start of perhaps maybe a more long-term trust building. Take advantage of the FUD. In my opinion, this one will be the next most important coin since we saw the launches of those classical first cycle, first generational coins. I think AI will only get bigger and better. Take care, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.